There's something that's really on my heart, and that is perimenopause. Perimenopause is not supposed to last 10 to 15 years. The definition of perimenopause is the 3 to 4 year time frame surrounding menopause. Now, the average age of menopause is 51. Yet women in their mid-30s are being told that their symptoms of brain fog and night sweats and mood swings and not feeling like themselves, anxiety issues, they're being told it's perimenopause. That is not perimenopause. You're still 10 to 15 years away from menopause. Now, it feels like perimenopause, so I can understand a little bit why it's given that, but we cannot normalize this suffering and saying, oh, don't worry, it's normal, you're in perimenopause. Something is wrong. If you can't think straight, if you don't have energy, if you have mood swings that feel like a colossal roller coaster, that's not normal. And there are things that can be done. We need to find out the root cause. We need to find out what's triggering this hormone imbalance. Well, I have some ideas. In functional medicine, we believe that inflammation is the root of all illness, the root of all struggles, the root of all problems. Gut inflammation leads to abnormal estrogen metabolism. You cannot get rid of your estrogen because you have abnormal gut bacteria from this inflammation, and it disrupts your body's ability to get rid of estrogen. Well, if you're making estrogen and you can't get rid of it, then guess what? You have too much. That's estrogen dominance. Estrogen dominance is these massive mood swings, hyper emotional. You shouldn't have to live with that. Figure it out. Get a stool analysis from a doctor who understands these things. Change your diet. The best way to change your microbiome, which is your gut bacteria, is to eat a healthy diet. Don't eat a lot of sugar. Don't eat processed foods. Don't eat trans fats. Eat healthy foods that are rich in fiber. That's the best way to have a healthy gut microbiome. I'm so happy that we are finally talking about hormones in midlife. You know, the menopause movement is here and women are finally asking questions. That's great. But part of that conversation needs to be perimenopause. And even experts right now are saying, oh, perimenopause starts 10 to 15 years before menopause. No, it doesn't. And if the symptoms start that early, it's not normal. If you finally work up the courage to go to your doctor about these mood swings and this brain fog and this fatigue, and the answer is, oh, you're perimenopausal, and you need a different doctor. You need someone who will listen to you, who will not just shove things under the rug. Because even though talking about it and acknowledging about it is an excellent first step, we can't normalize this disease process. And it is a disease process. The same thing that triggers abnormal estrogen metabolism, i.e., gut inflammation, is going to trigger autoimmunity, cancer. Because if your body's inflamed, it's going to lead to disease. And it's very possible that the first manifestation of this problem in you is these mood swings from inability to metabolize estrogen. Well, in a way, that's a gift. Hear me out. A gift, because if you're able to recognize it and do something about it, then you can stem off the inflammation and the problem, while the only manifestation is these horrible mood swings before it turns into autoimmunity, before it turns into diabetes, before it turns into cancer. My view on health is so simple, not necessarily easy, but simple. It's not rocket science. I believe that we were created to be healthy. We have a creator. He gave our bodies a beautiful ability to heal. And then we mess things up with our lives and the world and toxins, stress, We don't eat right. We don't eat nourishment. Even if you try to eat well, even if you try to eat lots of vegetables, the plants can only give you the nutrients if they can extract them from the soil. And we know that the soil does not provide the same micronutrients that it did 60, 70 years ago. So we have this ability to heal if we provide our body with the raw materials that it needs, both protein, fat, healthy foods, fiber for our gut microbiome, and micronutrients. And then if we take away the things that are cogs in the wheel, we have an amazing ability to heal. What are the cogs in the wheel? Poor sleep, high stress, infections, and toxins. We live in a world that has toxins. We can't be afraid of it, but we need to take control over what we have control over. What do we have control over? We have control over what we put in our mouth, what we put on our skin, what we spray in our yard, and what we clean our house with. That's about it. But the beauty is that if we take control of the things that we have ability to control, that is often enough to give us that margin of resiliency so that we can heal. Can't control what the neighbors do. We can't control when we're driving through road construction or the planes that spray stuff on the fields. We can't control those toxins. But I really believe if we take control over what we are able to, the things that we have control over, that we have an amazing ability to heal. If you have symptoms of perimenopause in your 30s or early 40s, something's wrong, and it's a sign that your bucket's overflowing. See a doctor that can help you identify what's triggering this inflammation, what's interfering with your hormone metabolism, what's rusting your receptors so that they're not working right. I'm Dr. Yvonne Karney. I'm the hormone locksmith. We work on hormones and the locks and the receptors, the cell, to make sure your hormones work right. Take my hormone quiz to determine which hormone imbalances you have, and following that, you'll get some great information about steps you can take to help balance your hormones.